Why can't you just listen to me for once? This is impossible.
I am listening, Leo. But yelling isn't gonna solve anything.
Leo had seen enough heartbreak to last a lifetime. It was as though love, the very thing he once believed in, had become a cruel joke, a fleeting illusion. Every time he thought he had found someone to hold on to, they slipped away, leaving him with nothing but the shattered remains of his own heart. The worst part, he had begun to believe it was all his fault. Maybe he had built walls too high. Or maybe love simply wasn't meant for him. He no longer believed in happily ever afters. The truth was simple. Love hurt. And in Leo's mind, it always would. But deep inside, beneath all that sadness, a tiny spark of hope still flickered, though he'd never admit it to anyone, least of all himself. On that ordinary day in a cafe, a light walked in. Her name was Maya, and her presence was unlike anything Leo had experienced before. She entered with a quiet confidence, a smile warm. The world around her seemed to soften, the edges of the harshness in the cafe melting away. For a moment, Leo forgot about his own pain, but just as quickly as the light appeared, his cynicism returned. People like her were too good to be true. He tried to ignore it, but the thought lingered like an unfamiliar scent in the air. It was fleeting, but it was there, just enough to start something deep inside him that he wasn't ready to acknowledge. And then she did the unexpected and walked right up to him. There was no pity in her gaze, just a simple openness that caught him off guard. How could she just approach him like this? But Maya just smiled, unshaken, and Leo was left with no choice but to face her. Was she brave? Or was she just naive? He tried to brush it off. They conversed and Leo couldn't help but test her. He had learned long ago that the best way to keep from being hurt was to stay a step ahead, to push people before they could push him away. But she didn't flinch or take offense. She simply listened, her eyes steady and understanding. It was unsettling. No one had ever responded this way before. They had either gotten angry or walked away. Instead, she gently called out his defenses without ever raising her voice. Leo felt both uncomfortable and captivated. They kept on meeting at the cafe. He needed to see how much she would invest in him before he could fully let go. He casually mentioned his cynicism about love, just to gauge her reaction. But as he spoke, he realized that Maya didn't back down. Instead, she offered him a simple truth. She said love wasn't about fairy tales, and that was the moment everything shifted, and for the first time, Leo was tempted to believe it. Leo was at war with himself. His heart wanted something it had long denied, a chance at real love. He had tested Maya's patience, pushed her away time and time again, and yet, she was still here. He wanted to believe in her, in love. Could he really let go of the past and trust her? Or was he doomed to repeat the same mistakes? Maya had always believed in love, in the quiet power of patience. She understood Leo's fears, perhaps better than he understood them himself. O'Shea understanding girlfriend. But she was tired of waiting for him to let his walls down. Even in her frustration, she couldn't abandon him. Love was never easy, but Maya was willing to try, for as long as it took. Leo's emotions spilled over in a moment of anger and frustration. He pushed her, tried to force her away, but Maya wouldn't budge. She had fought for him for so long, but now she was beginning to wonder if it was worth it. Something had shifted within Leo. The anger had faded, replaced by a realization that had been there all along. Maya wasn't just another person to prove his cynicism wrong. She was real, and her love was real. For the first time, Leo wasn't afraid of love. He was afraid of losing it, and so Leo and Maya found each other, not by perfection, but through patience, understanding, and vulnerability. Leo had finally learned that love wasn't a fairy tale or a fleeting moment. It was real, it was messy, it was everything he had feared and everything he had longed for. And in that moment, as the sun set on the past, they stood together, ready to build something new, a love built on trust, not tests, and a future without walls.